Most robot vacuums struggle with a mess like this. They either avoid it too carefully or spread it around while trying to clean. And when it comes to wet, sticky stains, things get even worse. So instead of starting with how this robot thinks, I wanted to start with something more important. How well does it actually clean? Because this is where the Narwal Flow 2 does something very different. Traditional robot vacuums operate on simple rules. If something is detected, avoid it. But that creates two problems. First, they miss dirt around objects. Second, when dealing with wet mess, they often just drag it across the floor. So instead of actually cleaning, they sometimes make things worse. And that's where the difference in approach really starts to matter. The biggest difference here is not navigation, it's how the cleaning itself works. Most robot mops use a simple system, a damp cloth dragging across the floor. But the problem is that cloth gets dirty almost immediately. And once it's dirty, you're no longer cleaning, you're just spreading that dirt around. The Flow 2 uses a completely different system. Instead of passive wiping, it actively cleans the mop while it's cleaning the floor. There are 16 angled outlets that continuously spray fresh water onto the mop. At the same time, a built-in scraper removes dirt from the surface in real time. So instead of carrying dirt forward, it constantly separates clean water and dirty residue. It's essentially a continuous cleaning cycle happening while the robot moves. And then there's the physical cleaning part. The mop is not just sliding, it's rotating forward with consistent pressure. That pressure is around 12 newtons, which is closer to how you would press when cleaning manually. Combined with warm water, it's able to break down much tougher stains. So instead of applying one rule to everything, it adapts its cleaning strategy in real time. So I wanted to test it properly. I made a thick mess on purpose, something most robot mops would struggle with. And instead of going over it multiple times, it removes it in a single pass, almost like an eraser. And to check if anything is left behind, I wiped the area with a white tissue. No visible residue, which is the part that actually matters. Once the cleaning system is solid, then the intelligence behind it starts to matter. And this is where the Narmind system comes in. Instead of just detecting obstacles, it actually recognizes what it's looking at. For example, if it detects something like a phone or a wallet, it treats it differently. It slows down, keeps a safer distance, and avoids contact. And it can even trigger a notification, so you know something important was detected on the floor. But recognition alone isn't the key part. What matters is how it reacts. For fixed objects, it cleans very close. For normal obstacles, it keeps a balanced distance. And for sensitive things like pets, it gives more space. So instead of one rule, it adapts in real time. It also adjusts how it cleans depending on the mess. Dry debris and wet spills are handled differently without switching modes manually. So the whole system feels less like automation and more like decision-making. In a real home environment, this becomes even more noticeable, especially in areas where things are constantly changing, like where kids are playing. It moves more carefully, avoids interaction, and keeps cleaning without interruptions. So it feels predictable, even in unpredictable situations. Even the design is built around integration into the home. The dock and lighting are minimal and unobtrusive, so it doesn't feel like a device that needs to be hidden. It fits into the environment rather than standing out. After testing it, the biggest difference is not just how smart it is, it's how well it actually cleans. Because intelligence helps, but cleaning performance is what really matters. And here, both parts work together in a way that actually makes sense.